准了，哦哟哦哟，来了，哦哟哦，来哦，过来过来过来过来。不能动。这边的纠正，这边纠正要飞。哇，哎，宝贝啊，过来过来，来呀来呀！啊，过来过来，来呀来呀来呀来呀来，过来！等一下，嘴巴动，喇叭动，你的理由是不清楚。来呀！哇塞，这个实力一流啊！来呀来呀！哦！啊！
好了，快点快点，没有 CCTV 这边对，解散这边解散，这边没 CCTV，
那有酒兵还有意思啊，还打，
还是真有对。
哎呀，爱打就不要打，懒爬杠啊！这都丢不完了。好了，喂，过来过来，来来来！怕怕！来过来收下咧。哇！来呀！要看了，过来！过来！只有你们喜欢我。这个很厉害啊！是吧？那个照顾了怎么变了乌龟？哇！过来！哇！哦呦！好看了，这个，哇！哦呦，过来！哎呦，能看。哦呀，水。哦呦，哇，这叫，哦呦。哦呦，来。 好的，5块啊。
好，
哦，掌柜呗。哎呦，没事啦。
Why do you look like an American? What do you mean that my accent is like 50 years old? This is a Singaporean accent. 操你老妈的！你讲我什么50岁的 Asian 哈？你干你呢？What you mean 哈 ？Guru， 操你老妈！丢你老母啦！干你呢？操鸡掰 ！Guru, like what the hell you talking about, Guru? You don't say I sound 50, okay? If I sound 50, you sound like 100 years old, okay? And the worst thing is you are a bloody 100 years old virgin, okay? Don't laugh at Singaporean accent, okay? You have no rights to laugh at Singaporean accent. Majura Singapura, okay? I want to laugh and law in your face. I want to say, you are a fucking loser. Law. What's your problem, huh? You have a problem with my Singaporean accent? Go and fuck yourself then. Okay, yeah, go and fuck yourself. Like, what's wrong with my Singaporean accent? I'm trying to...
Pursuant to the resolution passed by the House on Tuesday, 6th of March, I wish to make my statement. I had written to Speaker on Monday evening, 5th of March, to inform him that I wish to make a statement in the House concerning the exchanges I had with Ministers Heng Swee Keat and Shanmugam during the budget roundup on the 1st of March. The next morning, on Tuesday, 6th of March, Speaker informed me that the Leader of the House also wished to make a statement on the matter. I was not informed of when she would do so. She subsequently made the statement that same morning at the start of the sitting while I was on my way to Parliament. She has extended a copy of her statement to me by email. Speaker, sir, after the debate on the 1st of March, I've had time to track back what led me to have the impression and suspicions I articulated during the exchanges with the ministers. I would like to share these findings. Since 2013, the Prime Minister had said that our expected increases in spending would require more tax revenue. Finance Minister Heng had also made a similar statement in last year's budget, saying that the government was studying how it would raise revenue through new taxes or raising tax rates. These statements were very general and did not specify any time frame for the raising of taxes. In November 2017, during the PAP convention, Prime Minister Lee announced definitively that the government would be raising taxes as government spending on investments and social services grew. He further stated that Finance Minister Heng was right when he said raising taxes was not a matter of whether, but when. Prime Minister's statement was made on 19 November 2017, with the budget statement for 2018 just 3 months away. Naturally, these announcements concerning tax increases set off public discussion and speculation. 3 days later, on 22 November 2017, the Ministry of Finance issued a statement that PM Lee's announcement at the PAP convention was in line with a much earlier statement made by DPM Tharman when he was Finance Minister in 2015. DPM Tharman had then said that the revenue measures that the government had already undertaken would provide sufficiently for increased spending planned until the end of the decade. In reporting the MOF statement, Channel News Asia commented as follows, and I quote, "The ministry's statement came after Mr. Lee's comments on the impending tax hike triggered public discussion that the government is making a U-turn," unquote. MOF further stated that planning for the issue now would allow the ministry to, and I quote, "better ease in the needed measures and to give our people and businesses some time to adjust," unquote. The MOF statement did not definitively say that there would be no tax increase in this budget. The fact is, raising taxes in the budget and only announcing it in the budget statement was what the government had done in the past. Hence, the uncertainty over whether taxes, and in particular GST, would be raised this budget continued even after the MOF statement, This was further fueled when MOF office holders kept up the discussion on raising taxes in the immediate run-up to the budget statement, saying they were working on when. Prominent economists went on record to predict that the GST rate would be raised in 2018 or 2019. Such economists included those from UOB, Ernst & Young, and DBS. What is notable is that nowhere in the discussions just before Budget 2018 did the government publicly commit that it would not raise GST before 2021. This was only announced on 19 February during the budget statement. As an opposition MP, it is my duty to watch every move and signal from the government for the future of Singapore and the welfare of Singaporeans. Hence, I admit that I did suspect that the government intended to raise the GST. However, the government contributed to this suspicion by its non-denial of reports and economists' predictions of an immediate GST rise. Based on the sequence of events, I believed the government could have intended to raise the GST at this budget. Thus, during the heat of the exchanges at the budget roundup, I articulated my suspicion. In doing so, I believe I was doing my duty as an MP to convey ground concerns, reactions, and confusion. I did not accuse the government of being untruthful as alleged, and neither had I intended to accuse the government of dishonesty. I do not accept the over-characterization the PAP MPs have put on my words and intentions, based on their own interpretation, born out of overactive imaginations and oversensitivity. Since the government has now refuted that it had any intention to raise GST immediately, I can accept that my suspicion then may not have been correct.
Leader, do you have any response or clarification?
Mr. Speaker, I thank Ms. Sylvia Lim for admitting that she had made a suspicion, although she has said that she has not accused the government of dishonesty. But let me put the facts here. She made the accusation, she made the statement in the House. At that time, she didn't have the facts with her. Minister of Finance put the facts squarely before the House, inviting her to question as a witness. She didn't make any attempt to do that. So here you are, Minister for Finance, together with Prime Minister, with DPM, putting their statements, explaining to the House that their plans had all along been thinking about it in the long run, planning for tax increases for the next decade, and you have an MP coming here to make statements that basically accuses them of doing otherwise. Ms. Lim is saying that the government is saying one thing in public, but planning secretly to do another. So I am disappointed that she has failed to apologize to this House for making these false allegations. The allegations have indeed harmed and tarnished the reputations of other members, namely the Prime Minister, DPM, and Minister of Finance, Heng Swee Keat, because she has put questions, she has not withdrawn allegations, she has not apologized. And I think the privilege that parliamentarians enjoy come with responsibility, that whatever we say here, if you do not have the facts, you should check them, and having checked so, you should consider whether the remarks have indeed hurt the integrity of the members. And I put to the House that indeed they have. So I would like to just remind members of the House that they may not abuse this privilege to misrepresent facts or mislead Parliament. They're not entitled to make unsubstantiated allegations without taking steps to check the fact or knowingly maintain the allegations they have been shown to have no factual basis. Unlike her colleague NCMP Leon Pereira, who both withdrew and apologized to this House for making misleading statements, in a recent case, Ms. Lim has refused to apologize. By so refusing, her conduct falls short of the standard of integrity and honor expected of all members. I must therefore put the honourable member on notice, and the rest of the House too, that if she repeats such dishonourable conduct and abuse parliamentary privilege, I refer the matter to the Committee of Privileges.
Ms. Sylvia Lim.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to respond. I'd just like to make 2 points at this stage, depending on where the Speaker wants to take this debate. If the government had indeed been so clear of its intentions not to raise GST before 2021, why is it that the public was so worried that this would happen? Why was it that the economists came up with reports after the PM speech at the PAP convention to predict that the GST rate would be increased in this budget? Are they all dishonest and hypocritical? Secondly, perhaps we can get some clarification from the leader on the standards expected in this House. And I'd like to quote this statement from Cabinet, which was made in the House quite recently. I begin the quote. If MPs believe that something is wrong, it's MPs' job to pursue the facts and make these allegations in their own name, decide whether something seems to be wrong, and if you think something is wrong, even if you are not fully sure, then come to this House, confront the government, ask for explanations and answers. This is a quote from Prime Minister Lee during the closing debate on 38 Oxley Road. So I'd like the leader to clarify. Is there a difference in standard here? One standard when the PM's name needs to be cleared, and another standard when we're talking about raising taxes on the people?
Leader.
In this chamber, we often make representation and bring forth the views from our constituents, from our stakeholders. This is expected of us. We are members of the Parliament. Some of us, most of us, are elected to do so, to be the voice of the people. We are fully expected to do so. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the difference between us. Let me say that again. But we have a responsibility when we bring this matter to this place, because this chamber is for serious debate, is for making of laws, is where we have serious discussions about the future of Singapore. So before we bring the opinions, the speculations, the views, the unhappiness to this chamber, we need to check the facts. Ms. Lim has admitted that she didn't do so in the first instance. But having said so, after she has brought the matter here, we have laid down the facts to her. The Finance Minister has plainly said that there wasn't such an intention. And yet she continued to insist on the allegation. That is the matter that we are discussing here. And this is a difference between what we say in this chamber and what economists, analysts say outside this chamber. We have a duty to fellow members, we have a duty to fellow Singaporeans that whatever we say here carry responsibility. And this also is the standard that Prime Minister has said earlier.
Ms. Sylvia Lim.
So I think it's clear where we stand, and I'd just like to make it plain what my position is. I do not see any reason for me to retract the statements which I made during the exchanges with the ministers. As I mentioned in my earlier statement, there was a sequence of events which led me to have that suspicion, contributed to by the government. And secondly, sir, I will not apologize to this House because I believe that I was doing my duty as an MP in the constitutional role that we have been elected into to give the government the forum to account to the people. And for that, I make no apology.
I duly note. Leader, anything else?
I'd just like a clarification. Does Ms. Lim not retract her allegation?
I believe she's been quite clear on that.
that I'm not retracting.
So I misunderstood earlier. I thought that Ms. Lim has admitted that those were her suspicion and that she will retract it. But that being the case, I must say that we're deeply disappointed. For someone of her experience should accuse the government of lack of candor, even though the facts have been explained to her clearly, both in the public domain, in statements made by MOF, as well as here by Minister of Finance. I would like to say that her conduct falls well short of the standards of integrity and honourable conduct we expect of all members. And regrettably, to say that it reflects the low standards which the member and her party have set for themselves with regard to commitment to truthful and honest debate in Parliament. Which I should repeat again, it is expected of us to bring our views forth here. It's expected of us to debate. But if the facts were wrong, and we have said that the facts were wrong, we had not had this plan of floating a balloons and then only to retract after public pressure, that's just plainly not existent. It's a figment of imagination. Should continue with this accusation, just like this, deeply disappointing and deplorable.
I've permitted both sides of the House to state their respective positions. Minister for Finance, would you like to add?
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to take up this matter. Now, I think, Ms. Lim, you made a statement on the 1st of March, and let me quote, "We do know that in the run-up to the budget discussion, there were some test balloons being floated out about the fact that the government needs to raise revenue. And immediately, the public seized on the fact that DPM Tharman and perhaps other leaders had earlier said that the government has enough money for the decade. So the public pointed out that, hey, you know, is this a contradiction? And I rather suspect, I meaning Ms. Sylvia Lim, that the government is stuck with the announcement. Otherwise, you know, if their announcement had not been made, perhaps we will be debating a GST hike today," unquote. Now, I think what Ms. Lim meant by that statement is that she was suggesting that the government would have raised GST immediately, if not for the adverse public reactions when it floated the suggestion late last year, and if it had not been stuck with a previous statement that it had enough money for the decade. Now, Ms. Lim was in fact accusing the government of being untruthful when it says that it had planned ahead and that its proposal to save the GST, to raise the GST between 2021 and 2025 was the result of such planning. Now, Ms. Lim asked earlier that why is it that the Ministry of Finance did not come out to review details of the budget. Now, the budget is a serious matter. We take great care in preparing the budget, and that the details are kept as secret, until the day of the budget, because it has got impact on the market and on not just in Singapore but internationally. So I do think that these are serious matters. Now, what Ms. Lim is saying, that your allegations, you made an allegation, you claim to reflect these views of the public, but you said, I suspect that this is the case. Now, Parliament is a serious forum for us to discuss serious matter. Now that you have opportunity to gather all the facts, now that I and my colleagues have made all the clarifications, and you had the chance over the last few days since you made the statement to check the Hansard, to check whatever facts, I think it is only right and honourable that you withdraw the statement, unless you have a basis for that, that you cannot come here and say, I heard this, I'm repeating this. You need to have a basis. So having examined all the facts, do you have a basis? And if not, I think it is only right and proper that you withdraw the statement.
Ms. Lim.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't think Minister for Finance was listening to my speech. I set out in my speech the basis for my suspicions, going through a chronology of events that led me, and not only me, others to have that suspicion. Now, Minister for Finance mentioned that, of course, budget preparation is a secret and so on, and I think that's actually part of the whole issue. Only the Cabinet knows the truth. And as I said in my speech earlier, the government has said it's refuted that it had any intention to raise the GST this year. I do not know the truth, so I can accept that I may have been wrong. But I do not accept that my suspicion had no basis, and I do not apologise.
Mr. Loh Tia Kiang.
Thank you, sir. I do take it that budget is a serious matter, and it's always secrecy because it might affect market movement and all that. But I'm sure the government has no intention to raise GST. I think there's nothing wrong for the government to come up earlier to say that, look, we don't have intention to raise GST at this budget. And then we have cleared the air and the confusion on the ground of speculation that, well, you're keeping quiet, you're taking raising tax, but not mentioning what kind of tax. And GST is a form of tax. And that, I think, contributed to ground confusion and leading to the impression form. And I can understand at the heat of exchange that it comes to your mind, you articulated it, and I think Ms. Lim accepted that, that was at the point in time, and now, it's clear that the government has no intention to raise GST at the point in time, and her suspicion wasn't really correct at the point in time.
I duly note the position stated by both sides of the House, unless there are any other points to be raised by either side that will provide further clarity. Minister for Finance.
I think I can accept that in the heat of the exchange, you may be saying things which you did not intend, but now, having had so many days to examine the facts, I would like to know that whether Ms. Lim, do you have a basis for your belief, and now do you accept the explanations that have been given, that this has been the intention of the government, there was no backtracking, that this was the facts as we have put out. In fact, the issue of raising taxes have been raised many times before that. It's just that the timing and the details are not reviewed. And I don't think it is proper for us to talk about the details and timing of it way in advance of a budget.
Ms. Lim.
So I have nothing substantive to add to what I've already said. I said in my speech earlier that I can accept that my suspicion may have been wrong, but I do not accept that my suspicion had no basis, and I do not accept that I have failed or been derelict in my duty as an MP to this House.
As I've said earlier, I duly note the position stated by both sides of the House. I propose that we move on. Order. The clerk will now proceed to read the orders of the day.
Hello. Sorry. Do you have a few minutes?
Sorry.
Your name, please, miss. I ask you nicely. I don't want to argue with you. I just want to speak with your manager. No use you hiding. I can stay here until you close the shop. I don't care. Excuse me, please. Would you please cooperate with me? Do you want or you do not want to cooperate with me? I'm asking nicely for your name and your colleague's name. You don't know your own name. You don't know your own name. Okay, I will report this immediately. Okay, I will immediately report this to your clear carding manager. Okay, since you don't know your own name and you don't know which outlet you are working at, it's okay. I have already captured your face. Thank you. Have a nice day.
What? what? Send me out! Is it funny, is it? Is it we got nothing better to do, is it? Looking at the huh? Huh?
What service is this? Tell me. Is the McDonald's service like that? You don't tell me sorry. I'm very angry. What? I haven't ordered finish. Money. What is this? What different customer? We come in three. What different customer? Huh? Miscommunication. And keep asking, hey, money where? Like that. Is your service good like that? What you talk to her? I want to see what action you all do to her. Or you can only hire authority to talk to me. Hire authority to talk to me. You what manager? What manager? Restaurant manager. I want to talk to the restaurant manager. Morning. Ask the restaurant manager call me now. Only assistant manager. Money, where's the money? What? My face, I got no money to pay for this ice cream. I got no money to pay the ice cream. Fuck. Misunderstanding. Or you all see I no money to pay the fucking ice cream. The bill setter.
Okay, thank you. You can call yourself.
Okay, if you're not going to pay the bill,
call your police come.
Very simple. You don't need to talk so much.
You call your police come.
Not my police. It's not my police. It's Singapore police force, not my police. Mind your language and mind your words.
Singapore police force, right? Now you can call them come.
Okay, I will call.
Okay, thank you.
You are not going to pay the bill, I will call.
Okay, thank you.
If you find judgment and sorry, please do not take any image. Okay? Please do not take any image.
What are you going to do?
You're taking image?
Yeah, I'm taking what? What?
Stop.
Now you use force and you try to damage my phone. Okay? I got you on the video.
Yeah,
all the while.
Image on me.
Yes.
Okay, I got my right to get my lawyer to sue you.
Oh, carry on.
Carry on.
You try to damage my phone. Okay? Just talking easy. Okay, calm down. Sorry. Excuse me.
Say again? Oh, you got money to burn, ah? Oh. Oh, okay. Ha. Oh, this say有对，我知影。Oh, okay. Okay. So it's your problem. You are parking on the family lot. Okay? Wow, that's great. Okay? I'm sending this video up to the Facebook and let everybody know. Wow, impressive. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's wait for the security. I already take. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. Hey, no need. It's okay. Huh? No, it's not. First come, first serve. Okay, if it's first come, first serve, why do they have this family lot? Okay, everybody know you are rich, okay? Yeah, everybody know you got 3 cars. You got money to burn. Like me, okay, no problem. Okay? No, this is not stupid. This is you being a very inconsiderate person. Yeah, you am. Thank you for owning up, okay? Yeah. Okay, no problem. You can have how many cars is your own problem. Okay? 排聽厝嘅是恁厝嘅代志。Okay?
I'm trying to.
Oh, 小白啊。
是啊。
Oh, okay. Oh, you got me. She got money to burn. Okay, but one thing I want her to know, this is a family lot. Okay, this is a family lot. Okay, she told me what? This family lot is first come, first serve. You such a small car without any stroller and everything. What is this? Hey, wait. Hey, wait. Wait.
Please, do not do this.
Then at least you should tell her.
No.
Okay, now you are giving people a habit. Now you are giving people privilege to punk here. No, she's not anything. No children, no nothing.
Okay, I bring you to the control.